preparing to live stream the meeting. Any second. Preparing to live stream the meeting. There we go. That's good. That's good. We're here. We have arrived. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolie Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet, and we'd like to welcome you to today's show where we are diving deeper into Dr. David Clements and his work, and John is going to tell us more about it.
Yeah. These are, I just find this truly a fascinating time to be here on the planet. And we're going to learn more about this, but this is very much about unlocking our new paradigm reality. And things are changing rapidly. And one of the things I really love about this is that, we feature a lot of information and we'll continue to kind of be quite diverse with what we put out there. But so much information is actually telling us about what is going on in the external world around us. And it's important information because, we're here for the human experience. So therefore, we're not divorced from what goes on around us, and we need to be able to manage that, cope with it, and the likes. But to me, what Dr. David and his team, who are obviously the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Elohim, the Andromedans, and friends, it takes us within, right? Because that's the bit that really counts. Because whatever's going on in the external is going on in the external. And yes, we can feel kindness, compassion, happiness, joy, neutrality, whatever that is going to be based off what is going out there. But we really step into our power when we find out who we really are. And this is all the thing that's changing right now. And this is what I love about Dr. David Clements and teams, is that they have us focusing within and getting into our power. And that's what, that meditation 14, we put it out last Sunday, almost about this time last week. And that's had an awful lot of interest. So we put out the second meditation, number 15, on Thursday. And again, a massive amount of interest. And I love that because they are the two key activating points that start us to really accelerate in this journey of awareness and remembering. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we've been publishing our newsletter now for over 4 years, and it is Elevated Planet and the Great Remembering. And you can really see now that we are starting to remember this stuff, or we're having the opportunity to do it. So this is what it's all about today, and that is why we have been giving 4 weeks in a row now. Dr. David has been included in our program in terms of featuring his wisdom and the wisdom of his team. So I'm delighted that so many people are following on with this and that so many people are also leveraging that. And, I've done those meditations multiple times myself already. And, it makes a difference. It really does make a difference. So they are on our Elevated Planet channel. And in fact, I have reached out to Dr. David, on behalf of Jolie and myself as well, just to kind of flag this level of interest to him and just say, look, we want to keep doing this. I know there's a demand out there for us to continue to post, extract the meditations from his 2-hour shows and put the information out there because it's so valuable. So the 14 and 15 as activations are very, very important, but there's an awful lot of other stuff there that we can tap into as well and help him to spread the word. So I'll let you know how we get on with that. But the word is out there with him. So really, that's really where we're heading right now, is we are going to tap into that and begin that process because, again, what we're extracting this information from today is during one of those meditations, meditation number 15, where he does his Q&A after the meditation. There's some super valuable pieces of information there. And when I was watching that, I was thinking, okay, this is the perfect thing to break out amongst our community because, you know, for those who haven't seen 14 and 15 yet, I'm sure you will. And for those who have seen it, then it's an opportunity to, again, get to understand these things from a new angle. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to explore it in the usual kind of time-honored fashion. And really, that is where we are heading right now. So what do you think, Jolie? Anything you want to add to that?
Yes. Let's just move forward.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's it. Right, that we will do. So, okay, everybody, here we go. We're going to hit the button and we're going to begin with part one. And hang on to your hats. Exciting times.
Once again, to remind you, I feel the teams are saying they didn't want to talk too much about this because this is so much about you having your own unique experience, because your infinity point is coming through you and it's merging into you, and you're remembering who you are, because there is a lens from your source infinity point which lenses the real you. It's the unique version of you that source created as your soul, your higher aspects. And it lenses that pure source energy into the form that is you. So it knows exactly who you are. It knows exactly when you were created, how you were created, what you love and what you love to have, all those things. It has complete knowingness of you. And that is what we're getting back to. By doing this, you're not just doing this for yourself. You're going to act as those powerful, brilliant, infinite source lighthouses, in a metaphor of speaking, that's going to help awaken other people, because there's a lot of people out there working in a very frightened, isolated way, that they think that they are separate and they're running scared, and they don't have to be. They never had to be. And by coming near somebody such as yourself, they will hear that energy through your voice. They will feel it emanating from you, and it will give them pause to think, oh my goodness, there's something else. And yes, there is something else. It's the real self. It's not the illusion that we've been involved in. We are all the same in this, that we've all been waiting to wake up to this. And for a long time I found, I went through quite large periods of isolation. I didn't do any courses. I didn't do anything. I didn't have too much interaction with anyone. They really wanted me to say, look, we don't want you distracted with things out there. We want you to, as hard as it is, because I went through some very difficult times, as I know many of you have, we want you to come inside, come inside, come inside. Everything that you've wanted is right there. And they were saying to me in conversations past, well, many of the tools that you picked up in courses that you did do were very helpful, and we guided you to do them. Now is the paradigm for people to come inside and remember. And they're saying, they're so cool, these guys and girls there. They are, there's a lot of teams here, Pleiadian, Arcturian. There are big expanses of energy here that are supporting this work. And they're saying that for so long humanity has been preoccupied with what is out there, with what's being said out there. Whoever it was, and now is the time. They're saying you're moving into a beautiful new paradigm, and you're going to be freed through this process, because you've given the wish to do so, of the fears of being who you are, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of feeling that you are some separate being and source is out there, some that you've got to find. They're saying nothing could be further from the truth. It's always been in there inside you. It's the cloud that's been created around it that has made you the cloud of forgetfulness. They like that word or that phrase. That is going to be dissolved away from you. And they did an initial activation with the Elohim when they did the first removal of the density field. And they're saying that's what this is. It's all part of the same thing. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are going to have some pretty cool experiences in the coming days and weeks, and feel free to leave comments, and we've started to put some experiences up on the website for other people to learn, to understand, because it emits energy when you put them up, and people can key on that energy and find, okay, that's what I'd love to have. So if you want to give feedback that you'd like to be put up on the website, we're happy to do that.
So, our newsletter, Elevated Planet and the Great Remembering, is now in its 5th year, as per the 22nd of August, and now we can truly sense that remembering. So isn't it exciting that by embodying these key meditations to activate our infinity point, we get to remember who we truly are, our higher aspects that have been hidden from view as a result of the cloud of forgetfulness that descends upon birth, so that we could get to experience the false matrix that has surrounded us for thousands of years on the planet. It was all part of what we signed up for, so we could experience the full gamut of emotions that are available to us within the density of the physical 3D Earth plane. And within this lifetime, it is finally time for us to both remember and to step into our power as pure source energy, with the false matrix filters removed. You may remember David's analogy last week of the movie camera, with the film filtering the pure white light, creating the distortion and the stories that still play out all around us as the old Earth energy resolves and dissolves the density by bringing it to the surface one last time to be healed. Of course, for those not yet on their awakening journey, they will likely be caught up in the density of the false narrative, and I have to say, I totally understand that perspective, because there but by the grace of God go I. And I'm excited that we can be those lighthouses, as David calls it, those beacons, those ripple masters, who can act as catalysts for those that find themselves ready to explore what is really going on here, to gently encourage them to realize that their true power lies within, where it has always been, just awaiting the remembering and reactivation, out of separation and into heart-based unity consciousness. And it doesn't get any better than that. And we are supported by the Pleiadians and the Arcturian teams, amongst others, who are all here to help us find our way, and that's just crazy good. Now back to David.
So what I've found in my life is that my teams have always reminded me, for myself, pain has always been resistance. And I had an example of something recently where I had some very severe tummy pains, because as I was connecting with the infinity point, a very old issue came out I didn't even know that I had, that was going back lifetimes, because this stuff cannot exist in the source state. And the way I deal with it is they said, just relax, go into it, consciously move into that area and breathe that source energy into that area, remind it of who it is, and relax. And quite quickly, it went, just vanished. So try that technique, try that way of, and it was all coming because as you evolve with the source infinity point, and I can feel now, and in many of you, aspects of you are going to go, oh, I want that, I want to be a part of that, which is why it was reaching out to the cells inside you, I feel. And it's a very simple process of when you feel part of you that's in discomfort or unhappiness, go into meditation, go inside that part, breathe into it and remind it, it's okay, you are okay, relax, let go. And then to ask it the question, would you like to be infused with source love light? And sometimes they're in such a state of old energy, they're like, I don't know what to do. Sometimes what I find is when they're in that state, I say, okay, would you like the opportunity to go directly up with my higher self and to feel what it's like to feel and see through the eyes of my higher self, so that you can be reminded of who you really are, and you will see what you're going through from a very different point of view. And once they go up, they don't want to come back. And then eventually the higher self can integrate that properly for you. So that's a nice little tip for self-empowerment of how you can deal with parts of you that are very afraid to leave the old paradigm of energy. In the old traditional ways of thinking, things like your higher self was outside of you and lots of things were projected outside of you. And that was a truth that was given in a paradigm of that particular energy at the time. But the way I see it now is that everything, nothing is outside you. The sacred heart, the infinity point, they're all right inside you. There's simply different level of fields, intelligent living fields inside you. And some of you that might see flashes of light or the beings. So when I see the beings around me, I see flashes of white light or blue light. As you become more accustomed to the energy, you will start to see different levels of fields that are already within you and emanate from without you. And as those beings come close, you will perceive them better. You might feel them better. You might perceive them as flashes of light. So everything is absolutely inside of you, and the reality we see is just a larger field form and a collective field form of all our fields connecting together to co-create the reality we see around us. But it all begins, lift up a bit, right here. The heart center is the center of it all. Okay, you know, when you see a baby born into this world, they're just a bundle of joy. They're just giggling and laughing all the time. They have such an open state in here. And that's the state that we are going back to. We were releasing the dross, and this is what we came here to do. There's no accident. You know, you are puzzle piece solvers to undo these levels of dross that we've come to perceive humanity in, so that we can restore humanity and this beautiful earth back to infinity point beings, source emanations that are in full remembrance of that. What a beautiful world that is coming to us, that we're going to be in. And we are going to that world. Make no mistake about it. Doesn't matter what you see going on around you. That's the clearing. That's the stuff leaving. That's not stuff that's suddenly just messing up the world. No. That's the stuff leaving. That's going. Okay.
So I love that these are intelligent living fields that are part of us, and all the collective living fields join together to co-create the reality we see around us. And the heart center is the true center of it all. We're going back to that pure state from where we were babies before the programming and conditioning had chance to take a hold. And providing that doesn't mean I have to start wearing diapers again, then I love that idea. And I totally get that the chaos of the world around us is simply creating the opportunity for the old paradigm to be released to create the space for the new higher frequencies. But Jolie, all this healing and higher self stuff is really your wheelhouse. So take it away.
The higher self can be seen in many ways. It's just the highest part of you. It locks right into the intuition. David speaks about it being within. It absolutely is. But for meditation purposes, we see things clearly in a way that we understand. Because we've been programmed to look at things in a hierarchical way, or to really get detailed around certain concepts, that's what we use in a meditation to make sure that we allow for the mind to say, hey, this is familiar. Let me relax, and let the subconscious and the body do what it needs to do to heal and transform. So in the higher self, in the way that in which it works, it is all a part of us, around us, and in us. But during the meditation, we kind of see it as a sentinel or a protector, because there are other errant energies out there, other people's energies, maybe energies that may not, that are off-world or otherworldly. There are beings that probably are way more advanced than we are. Some people are hearing voices. We have schizophrenia. We have demon possession. A lot of us don't realize that our higher self is there to protect us, to stop these energies from coming in. Or if there are messages that they want to give to us, they communicate with our higher self. Our higher self, then once again, I'll say it, locks in with our intuition, communicates, and then we either share that with others or we take action as we were guided to do. So yes, the higher self is within us, but there is a part of us holographically that can see 360 degrees around us in the physical world, that really guides and helps us, keeps us out of danger. That's your higher self or your intuition. They're interchangeable.
Love it. Thank you very much, Jolie. And once again, back to David.
So, Light Magnet's question, we're basically asked if we wanted to end the experiment of forgetting. Yes, it is time for that to end. We are moving, and I can feel the energy of Source coming more directly now, and the beings coming in closely. They're saying it really is time, and they would like for you to spread the message about this, about the choice to undo or to let go or clear the forgetting. Okay, they're saying it has been mentioned in paradigms past, but it's never been available to this level as it has now because of the era we're in. It's very important to remember that. So yeah, you can either tell people to do this meditation if you want, or just tell them what you experienced and just give them a go through what you did. Whatever you feel called in your heart center to do. Do 14 first, which is the first infinity point activation, and then 15 as well. Okay, so question, can we now call for this to cocoon in addition to the cellular unification one, correct? They're saying they would like to blend the two. So if you would like that to have that done, so they would like to blend the unification one with this new infinite source cocoon, because they're actually working together. So make that clear to your team if you'd like them to blend that together to you, and the new one will be the infinite source love cocoon. And you might find your own name for it if you go with your higher self and you feel, actually, I just want to call that the love cocoon or the love bubble or whatever you want to call it. Just talk to your higher self and tell your higher self what you'd love to call it, and they'll just bring it through for you as that, okay?
So this is an incredible time of change for humanity, where we have the opportunity to peel back the cloud of forgetfulness that descends upon birth, to remember and fully step into our divinity and access all the wisdom from our past lives and the likes. However, it is a choice. Free will of each individual is in charge here, and that is as it should be. Meditation 15 gives us access to the tools to allow the remembering to take place, and it really comes down to permissioning your higher self and your team to make it so. And over time, I believe it will be so, but managed in a way that will not overwhelm us here at the level of the physical consciousness. Our team understand totally what we need at an individuated level so as to serve our highest good. But definitely make sure you do meditation 14 before embarking on 15, because the activations are in the right order to allow the unfolding of these parts of ourselves into conscious reality. As for these cocoons, the infinite source cocoon and the cellular unification cocoon, these are part of the activations within meditations 14 and 15, and these cocoon/energy fields belong to us. So the blending of these cocoons and personalizing of them to what resonates to us sounds like a great suggestion. Now, interestingly, I'm familiar with this concept of these cocoons care of our wonderful friend Aveen Murray from over in Ireland, as one of her modes of healing is the quantum light pod healing, which was introduced to Aveen by 3 galactic beings who worked with her during the healing sessions. A light pod is created around you from your crown. That then becomes the healing arena for your chakras and aura layers, including the removal of etheric parasites and mending any tears in your auric field. I can attest that this is a beautiful and blissful experience, but it's interesting how these self-created energy fields can be used in this way, and I believe it is a big part of the journey ahead. Now back to David.
Whenever fear comes up, fear is the paradigm of trying to operate without source intelligence. Okay, in a way of speaking to it. So the emotion of fear is what you feel when you don't feel innately you have source intelligence guiding and correcting everything in your life and solving all the problems. So you think, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? But when you learn to connect with source intelligence and you practice that, you will get more peace, more serenity. And I'm finding things that used to panic me a little bit. It's like, okay, all right, no worries. And then you just offer it up to source intelligence and say, I would like that sorted out, please. I would like that to be corrected. And this is the outcome I would like. Give it up and let that be. If more fear comes up, do the same thing again. And this is another way of clearing things. So don't fear the feelings of fear as they come up. Know that it's just the old leaving, and just to be aware of it is okay. So there's still some parts of me that are still operating that old paradigm. I'm going to go into them. I'm going to offer them source intelligence. If they take it straight away, mostly they do, they'll be healed and just feel the dross leaving. And there's another reminding technique they're telling me to say. There is a light field technology. I don't like the word technology, but it's just kind of it's sort of relatable. It's called a clearing disc. Okay, so you can call upon your higher selves, and the Arcturians, the ones that gave this to me. You can ask them to form a disc around you, and it starts spinning really fast, and it will lift and pull out the old energy around you that's coming out, that's stuck, and suck it into the disc. And then you just hand that up to your higher self, let it go. And that's a powerful, powerful way of clearing old stuff. We do it all the time. I mean, even if you've got into a supermarket or something and you've picked a little something up, disc it out, it's gone. Okay, it's very, very powerful. So ask, you can connect with if you already connect with the Arcturians, you can connect with them on that. Or you can ask your higher selves, because they can get that energy from the Arcturians and apply it to you uniquely and specifically. You can even clear entire spaces with this disc. You can ask it for it to entirely compass your house, an entire area. You'll feel it fill. I even use it to clear the earth as well. You can have a disc that encompasses the entire earth as a giant field, and disc it out, clear the earth. So yeah, very, very powerful.
What a beautiful visualization to use during the meditation about the Arcturian disc sort of healing. And what's so amazing about it is what you can do for those of you who are like, Arcturians, I don't know, because even I'm walking through some of that energy. So just know that you also have the power within you with your aura layer to do a visualization while you're running energy, to see your aura layer spinning, and anything that doesn't fit within the frequency and the vibration, or that's too dense, is going to be blown out into the roses outside your aura or down into Mother Earth, turning into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. And that is the beauty of visualization and meditation. It's also what is going to help us expand our mind, so that when these other energies or beings or whatever they may be that are around us or that may be coming in, we can open and expand our minds to not be so violent and harsh, because it seems as if they're coming in with gifts. So if our frequency and our vibration is of a high level of love, of source, then that is exactly what we will attract in.
Love it. Thank you very much, Jolie. And once again, back to David.
Asking your team or divine source to help you with grief and what's coming up now. So with those kind of things, especially the heavy stuff, I would say the very best thing to do, don't fight it, okay? Just sit down in a nice space. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to feel yucky, feel yucky. Because that allowance allows it to come off, okay? And I found that wisdom in my life just immensely helpful. Yeah, I used to fight stuff all the time because I didn't understand what it was, my life was intensely difficult because of that. But when you can sit down and say, right, feeling scared right now, or feeling worried, feeling anxious or something, just let it be. Just breathe with it, let the feeling be. Because what happens with emotions, it comes from your core and it pulses out. And as it pulses through the damaged patterns within you, the traumatic stuff, the stuff that's stuck there, like a projector in a cinema screen, it goes through those lenses and it gets colored with the coloration of that trauma or that issue. And it comes out and it reflavors itself so that you can feel that within inside you. Your emotions are incredibly good, sensory sweet, if you like, that as it pulses through and through these troubled areas, you feel it as grief or fear or worry or doubt. So it's telling you, Did you feel, do you know you have that there? There it is. There it is again. And so that you can see where it's coming from within you. So your emotions are a fantastic ally. So allow them. They're teaching you in that way. Can you talk a bit about what happened with the third eye? Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So what happened is this bridge was built so that source energy can flow through the pineal. The pineal has a large part to play in how you project and create the holographic reality around you. And there's been a great deal of filtering that's been placed on there. So people have reoccurring problems in their issues, in things and people going on in their lives. It's like, why do they keep coming back? Why does this situation keep happening? It's because we're constantly recreating it through those filters. And part of the trouble with humanity is humanity has been conditioned to keep recollapsing our thought patterns back on fear. So we recreate the same old, same old, same old. Okay, now, and I can feel them saying what they're looking forward to experiencing is with this energy going through and dissolving away. And they're saying, feel free to offer up anything that you encounter on this. They will help you take it off you, as well as, you can disc it as well. That your reality is going to start to change shape. New people are going to probably come into it. New situations that have been bugging you will likely change depending on how allowing you are for this energy to come through. And so the process of reality creation is going to change from you. And instead of creating repeated patterns going around and around and around, you know the drill, with a lot of things, I'm sure you do, as I've encountered in my past as well, that, and still a couple of things with things today that still catch my awareness, that humanity is moving out into pure creatorship, not recreating old patterns and old downward spirals, creating brand new experiences that have never been experienced before. And that's part of the reason why, part of us is afraid to move into creatorship, because a lot of us are familiar and find comfort and security in the familiar. And that can include going towards familiar courses or familiar people as go-to things. Anything like a familiar pattern in your life, like watching certain TV films or something like that. Basically, all of those are in a sense part of an old paradigm that are moving away and moving into authentic creatorship within inside yourself. Means that not only can you create a brand new reality, clean canvas, and moving into canvases you didn't even know you had, that as well as that, other people are attracted to you who are co-creating and the like, and you together can create brand new canvases. And this is, they're saying, the galactics are saying, this is how we live. This is how we operate. And we wish the same for you. How beautiful is that? I love that. That's great.
And we're back. So, you can't not love that, right? So we are moving back into pure creatorship. That is where we're heading. One of the biggest challenges in coming to this planet, as I understand it, relative to anywhere else that you could have gone in the multiverse, is the cloud of forgetfulness that descends upon birth. Okay, so we come in with a plan. It's just that once we're born, we don't know what that plan is. So not only that, but because of the cloud of forgetfulness, and excuse me if there's a bit of smoke drifting across, it's not the cloud of forgetfulness, it's actually something that a bit of incense I'm burning. So yeah, it's that challenge of not remembering, because the fact that you don't remember leaves you open to the programming of the false matrix. So we're bombarded with information. We learn from our parents who learn from their parents, and you're going back thousands of years that this false matrix has been in place. So to us, this is reality. We don't even realize that we've been enslaved. And the fact of the matter is that what we have to look forward to is a world of unspeakable beauty, because that is what happens when we come together into our power as creator beings, working for the light and understanding that we are an aspect of the divine, right? How, can it get any better than that? So to me, this is what really excites me, is about the dissolving of the cloud of forgetfulness. So we are then able to remember. Now, when you think about these galactic beings like the Arcturians and like the Pleiadians, who David works with, they would have gone into their lives understanding that they were aspects of divine creation. They don't typically have that cloud of forgetfulness. So they always have that advantage. Plus, they tend to live for hundreds upon hundreds of years as well, which is something that we used to do. Before all this happened, before all this false matrix, a lifespan of 80 to 90 years is not what it's supposed to be for us, right? That is also something that is going to change. Many lives go on outside of, planet Earth, where people will ultimately decide, right, okay, now it's time for me to move into a different sort of thing. So whatever being I am right now, okay, that's it. I'm going back to source because I want to have a new adventure, right? Whereas we tend to be told to fear death, right? Whereas death is probably the most magnificent experience you will ever have in your life. And we do offer an elevated planet money back guarantee with that in case we get that wrong. But honestly, going back to source from the density is a beautiful experience. You've only got to look at all the near-death experiences that are out. Oh, this cloud of forgetfulness all around me again. But I think this is so exciting. And the fact is that we have to permission it. As those who've done 14 and 15 will know, it comes down to us, right? We have to permission it. So we're in charge at a conscious level, but once we connect to our higher self, as Jolay helps us to do quite often with, as she will do later as well with our guided meditation, this is where the power is. But we have that power. If we don't permission it, and so those people who are going around through life not even realizing this is a truth. You understand that they are blind to this. They can't even invite in their own higher self because they don't know that they're there, and the higher self can't break the rules that guide this planet, which is all about free will. If you're not invited in, they can't show themselves. So, but this is why David wants this work and this information out there, because it's so important right now. So he's encouraging us to tell people about these meditations, about these activations, and about the opportunity to remember. The opportunity to remember that we are, infinite source energy. And we have these amazing energy fields around us that we can come together in community. Because again, I keep going back to conversations with God, where there was a time where God says, consciousness is everything. And from consciousness, group consciousness is amazingly powerful. And from that, you can create a world of unspeakable beauty or ugliness. The choice is yours. So, as conscious creators, we have a soft spot for unspeakable beauty of those two choices. So anybody who wants to join us, jump on the bandwagon of Elevated Planet, because that's where we're heading. We love our community and we love having people around us doing this, joining us on the journey. It makes it all the more exciting. We've got our Cape Cod Crusaders actually out there in Cape Cod, Lindy and Rua, who started their own Elevated Planet new spiritual circle out there last week as well. So any of you who happen to be here who in that Cape Cod area, let us know, because we'll put you in touch with those two. And anyway, other than that, I'm going to bring Jolay back in now to add your comments and your thoughts.
Wow, John, that was a lot and that was beautiful. And I'm really excited about this meditation because David seems to have really shined the light on some of the things that we can do to help our energy and our filters to change. As you were talking, John, I was like, wow, you can just say, you know what, this filter of poverty, I don't want it anymore. What I see is wealth. What I see is, but what you're doing is while you're sitting there, where you're sitting just right now, it's not going to be looking the way that it looks in your mind. Right now, you're changing that reality to see what you want. And that's what you do everywhere you go. And that's in clairvoyant training, the spirit clock and the body clock. So what you do is you see that, and then the body or the universe begins to catch up to it. Right? So that's another trick that you can utilize throughout your day to stay in joy and to stay in bliss is although I know, it sounds absurd, but you don't see this. You see what you want to see. You
Yeah.
see what you want to see, at least for periods of time. I mean, for those of you like, "No, I have a job, Jolie. I can't be, what you can see is these people who are good to you, who like you, who love you, who support you. And even if that's not the case, maybe just behaving like that a little bit has a chance to change it. It's only a mustard seed, right?
Right. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, the fact is that we all have to cope with human reality, right? And that's why we're here for this journey. So it doesn't mean that we're kind of going to be floating around on a cloud, living in paradise. But we can create our own reality. And the fact is that once we realize that we are aspects of divine energy, all of a sudden you realize that all this nonsense that goes on in the external world, in fact, including the world of employment. I mean, I always go back to the fact I spent 11 years working out in America, and the work culture there is so challenging in terms of so many people working 60-hour weeks and multiple jobs in order to pay mortgages, to pay rent, and all this kind of thing. This is where it's driven us to the point where people don't have time to pause to realize what's happening. But now, this is when we actually rise above this. And I think that, we are going to have so much power in the future, but we're going to have to go through some density in the near term. I think
Yeah.
that's a fact.
And let's be clear that while we're going through that density, part of the opportunity challenge, however you want to see it, is maintaining that vision.
Exactly.
That's what's going to get you through is maintaining that vision. And it truly is an honor to do this work. I mean, it really is to open people's eyes and to tap people on the shoulder. So that's what service is about. Sometimes it isn't always look like giving money. Sometimes it just is about holding the space of joy and of a positive energy around others. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a huge service.
For sure. Oh, it is. It is. And I think this is what David alludes to a lot as well, is, by
Mhm.
maintaining that frequency. We talked about lighthouses. He mentions the lighthouse. I kind of call them ripple masters or beacons, right? We can be
Right.
beacons, ripple masters, or lighthouses for our community. Because when you're holding that high frequency energy, that is what you're doing. And people will be drawn because they want a slice of that action because they're not stuck, they may be stuck in the density whilst you are able to climb on your eagle's perch, right? As Pam Gregory would tell us, and
Mhm.
be able to see it for what it is. Realize that this is the old energies coming forward to be resolved and dissolved so that we move forward into this new paradigm, which is going to give us the opportunity to create that world of unspeakable beauty. So, regardless of everything, and again, it's the human experience. So, it still means that we have that roller coaster of emotions to go up and down. And that's, it's not Pollyanna. This is kind of like realizing
Right.
this is the truth, right?
Right. And, I did a little research, Don, because I was taught in the past that if you sit down, let's say you're feeling sadness or grief or anger, sit down for 20 minutes and just let that feeling pass.
Mm,
Actually, I think studies have shown it's only 90 seconds.
yeah.
So that old paradigm of the 20 minutes is dying of how long it takes for you to process an emotion. Now we know the after effects can sit upon us and in our energy and in our body and cause trauma.
Mm,
But that's why that 90 seconds of just taking, breathing, letting it go, journaling, and doing these things, they're so pedestrian, we feel, but they really move the needle forward towards us being able to open up and receive
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, because I remember Ann Tucker told us as well during one of our past shows, that was the 90-second thing that she was suggesting as well. And, her community was saying just how powerful it had been because what the suggestion was is immerse yourself in that dense emotion as much as possible for 90
Mhm.
seconds because don't fight it, allow it,
Mhm.
and David himself says the same thing. It's about allowing, it's not about resisting brings pain, right?
Yes.
Allowing means that you're bringing it through, but allow it to be as intense as it wants to be for 90 seconds, do what you need to do, and then release it. So I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful energy, especially if you know that you can move it out your body through your grounding cord and then fill up with gold. This is some of the things we can do to maintain the space. Once we have this wisdom and knowledge, this is called remembering.
Mm,
This right here, this ancient wisdom and technology is remembering. Some of us have the bits and pieces of it. And if you just begin to practice it, it does turn the Titanic. It really does.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. And that's again one of the joys of what you bring to us at Elevated Planet, Jolay, is the ancient wisdom that is brought through meditation, right? This is not something new that's just been created over the last
Mhm.
few years. This is tapping back into ancient history, right?
That's correct. And, I know that sometimes we want to tiptoe through, and in the beginning phases is okay, but through consistency and practice, you'll start to dive in and you'll start to be able to really listen to your intuition. And I feel like right now, especially external forces are powerful
Yeah,
because a lot of people are under a lot of mind control and they're forgetting who they are. Humanity at its core is loving. It has it's a consciousness-based being. Period. That means that when you do things that are out of alignment with the laws, automatically you feel that.
yeah.
And some of this external rhetoric we're allowing in that speaks to division, that's not who we are.
No, no, 100% right. Consciousness is everything. And I think one of the things that struck me actually is that where David is taking us, to use a different phrase, it's Christ consciousness, it's heart-based
Mhm.
unity, Christ consciousness. And one of the things that always keeps coming back to me, and I believe from here, is that we all have aspects of Christ consciousness within us. It's just a choice of whether we activate it. And I think it's just another way of saying what David is doing and helping to guide us in that direction. So, anyway,
On spot on. I mean, I'm speech, we can move on.
yeah. And I think it's time for meditation, right? Guided
Yes.
meditation, visualization, care of the wonderful Jolie Gabrielle. So, and leading us in, though, we have again, Dr. David is just going to give us a last 1 minute summary, which leads us into Jole's guided meditation. So, are we ready to hit the button, Jole?
Yes, we are.
Okay, guys, hang on to your hats. Here we go.
And so, yeah, so my last words to you is just allow, be in joy, repeat this meditation if you want, and don't forget you always have the support there to offer this stuff up to your higher self and teams. You have the disc there now that you can use to disc is that they are so powerful, those discs for yourself. And even if other people are going through, I mean, those of you who are healers, if you're helping other people move through things and they've got stuck stuff, you can say to them, hey, can I disc you? Will you offer all of this stuff up to your higher self? Me and my wife, we do this to ourselves, each other all the time. You say, okay, yep, up it goes, and away it goes. Very powerful. So yeah, just use those and have fun and just really enjoy getting to know the real you more. Have a personal relationship, if you like, because the more you do and the more you invite it in, the more you're going to become that, and the old paradigms of who you thought you were are going to leave and dissolve.
bring your awareness to the center of your chest and begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. If you haven't already, please find a comfortable place to sit with your feet flat on the floor and your palms face up on your thighs. For those of you laying down, please keep your feet flat for the beginning part of the meditation. As you bring your awareness back to the center of your chest, command for your heartbeat to sync up with your breath. And on the exhale, I want you to visualize a grounding cord of a natural earth element connected to your first chakra. In fact, your first chakra becomes one with it. And as you see this field of energy, this portal of unconditional love, alignment with the laws of the universe, move itself through the layers of Mother Earth. It travels at the speed of love and roots itself in her core. As she welcomes you, and she says, you know what? I've been waiting for you, my child. I have so many gifts to give you. As she roots you in her love, and those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles blanket the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, cleaning off everything you're ready to let go of and release. While simultaneously, your aura becomes a foot and a half around you. Your higher self stands at the power position at a comfortable distance above your crown. And your astral body is snapped in, feet and feet, knees and knees, hips and hips, hands and hands, elbows and elbows, shoulders and shoulders, head and head. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and feel your soul architecture. Feel what it feels like to be put together. Relax. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body, you're going to be breathing in unconditional love and life, and breathing out any negative filtration systems. So just breathe in with love, just for yourself, and then breathe out and just as you exhale and say goodbye to anything that no longer serves you. And on this next inhale, you're going to pause, and as you exhale, you're going to visualize the bottoms of your feet opening like the lens of a camera as you call in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. Going to pool in the bottoms of your feet and travel up the side channels of your legs. And as this essence of Mother Earth warms your spirit, cleans your body, and connects you to that ancient wisdom, inhale, and on the exhale, open your crown. Visualize your crown opening like the lens of a camera. As that gold light begins to cascade down from the heavens, 85% of it. And you can just see your higher self with its arms spread open like, just taking that 85% waterfall of cosmic life force energy. As it just then rains down on that aura layer. Some comes down the side, and the rest of it just creates this little portal, which then opens straight into that crown, bringing in that life force energy as this river of living water, golden water, begins to just go through those aura layers as well. And then that essence meets with Mother Earth and begins to just fill you up. And it's just this warm, loving, just refreshing feeling, just moving through your legs, your calf, moving out any disease and illness, moving up and through the thighs and the ligaments and the muscles and just all parts of you, tangible and intangible, as it moves into that first chakra, the colon, cleaning out, getting that gut microbiome where it needs to be as it moves up. Liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, cleaning out the organs, the lymphatic system, as it then begins to move up the heart, the aorta, the lungs, the rib cage, all of the parts within, moving up the shoulders, bifurcating, coming down into the hands, working out any stiffness, and just moving into all those little pieces and parts of the fingers. Spend a little time here and let that energy move through. Moving out anybody else's energy, the work you're having to do for other people, just bringing back all your energy, just reinvigorating you with your life force, moving into those wrists, moving back up those arms, picking up momentum and speed as it moves through the neck, working through the hormones, and just swiftly moving up and sprouting out of the side channel of the crown and starting to fill up the aura layer from the outside. And as this essence then begins to meet and just washing through you, and now your nervous system feels so healthy. So right here, from a heart-centered space of unconditional love, you're going to say and ask for your intelligent living fields to light up and to just become connected, visible, and giving you that ancient wisdom as that earth energy, a 15% and that 85% cosmic gold, clear out the cloud of forgetfulness as it moves through the center of your head, resolving and dissolving those filters that no longer serve. As that ancestral wisdom and knowledge replaces those filters, those blocks. And as those intelligent living fields light up, and the nervous system goes, oh, where have you been? You're safe, you're protected, you're connected. So as you breathe and just let these fields light up and become one with you, move them around. Let them create a field around you. Adjust your aura layer. It's yours. Push it out. What does it feel like? Instead of it being 18 inches, how about it being 24? Are you comfortable? Move your energy around. And as these intelligent living fields begin to connect with one another, they take shape and form, turning into these beautiful energies, little energies, atoms of unconditional love. And what does unconditional love look like? What shape is it to you? all that energy is pulsating around you. And as this energy of the divine, of the quantum field, is working with you and through you, connect with any old paradigms that are still sitting in your body, masquerading as pain. Bring those beautiful, loving parts of your body up to your higher self and see your higher self waving these parts of you up. And as they come up, see the higher self take these parts of you in its arms and show them the beauty of infinite source of creation and of who you truly are, who we truly are, who they truly are. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body, I'm going to gently remind you that you are rooted and grounded into Mother Earth and her love, the grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter and a part of your first chakra, one with your aura. You're working with that as it moves around you, creating this beautiful energy of infinite source. Your higher self is above you with that, showing pain, the beauty of life. Your astral body is snapped in, and that earth and cosmic gold life force energy. Remember, the earth energy is of a color that resonates with you, is moving throughout your energy field, bringing so much love, nutrients, correction of the filters, rebooting, recalibrating you back to that state of wellness, the 0 point of creation. Breathe with the rhythm of your body and feel this energy moving throughout your body. As your higher self has those parts of you viewing and taking in and remembering the ancient wisdom and knowledge of wellness. Putting up a new filter, resolving and dissolving the other ones by moving them out into into those roses outside your aura layer, to the right and to the left of you. If you haven't done that, take a moment and do it. And then start moving all of the people and the places and the things outside your aura into those roses 5 feet away from you, to the right, to the left, as you then put a golden sun. And in this golden sun, you're going to place quantum love. And you're going to see the Creator fill up this golden sun with infinite source. Turn that pain in your body bright red. That pain, that cloud of forgetfulness masquerading as pain. Turn it bright red and send it down your grounding cord. As you bring that golden sun down, through your higher self. It's in that beautiful cascading cosmic gold life force energy. As it then begins to travel down into your crown, all throughout your body, filling up the spaces and the places within you where that pain was at, and bringing with it all of those pieces of you the higher self had that was still living in that old paradigm, which has now been brought into the new. And as this beautiful quantum love begins to fill you up and your aura layer, I want you to visualize your aura layer starting to spin with centrifugal force. And all the dusty dirties are going down the grounding cord, but the dense rocks and blocks and hurdles, filters that no longer serve, are being thrown out of your energy and into those roses outside your aura, because guess what? They no longer match the frequency. Your frequency and vibration has been brought into the new, the old, the wellness, the health, the ancient wisdom and knowledge. But the past, the negativity of it has been let go. Sit in that spin and feel that joy. Look at all the beautiful colors around you that infinite source brings. For those of you that can't see, feel it as you breathe with the rhythm of your body. And when you feel all of that gunk has left, and all of that dusty dirties has gone down your grounding cord, put a golden sun above your head. And in this golden sun, it's just whatever you want it to be. It's going to power up all of those new filters, infusing even more unconditional love and clear vision, connecting that heart and that mind and that higher self down into Mother Earth and all the way up to the divine. So slow down your aura layer. Let it gently slow down and lock in with all of its new energy as you give those roses outside your aura layer a push. You see them blow up, turning into fireworks or positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. And let that golden sun that you brought down, and if you haven't already, bring it down. Let it push out into your aura layer, all the way out into your environment. And now you're just popping and cracking with just electricity, with so much light. Your grounding cord has pushed down all of those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles, and the electricity, the beautiful golden electricity, is just sparking off of you, aligning you with your purpose. And just giving you access to infinite source. You are infinite source. So take a deep breath in, exhale. And visualize your feet closing like the lens of a camera, and that earth energy receding back down into Mother Earth as you take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, you visualize your hands and your brow closing like the lens of a camera. And on the next inhale and exhale, visualize your crown closing like the lens of a camera, and that cosmic divine life force energy ascending back up into the heavens. As you sit into that white light of transformation that is within the universe, transforming it in all of us into unspeakable beauty. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jolie. I feel completely electrified. Feel like you'd have been able to
That's the
see me.
word.
Yeah, it looked like that picture of Tesla in his laboratory that day when there were sparks flying all over.
Exactly.
That was
That's what
me.
we're looking for.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So, just interesting comments coming from the community. Thank you very much. We've got representation from Australia as well,
Ah,
which is
thank you.
wonderful. And she said that about mentioning that she's obviously got one of these. It says quantum, still a quantum still point clarifier, I think is what they're called. You remember because I know that we've talked about it, Jolie, right?
Yes.
And I think that as a as somebody who has one, I don't have one yet. I mean, I'm on the waiting list, but I know there's a big waiting list for all these things that Dr. David and his friends have created. But it's so important. So yeah, on behalf of that particular comment from Australia, it's important because it creates a grid structure around the Earth. That's what these energy devices do. So not only does it, you know, bring high frequency into your home environment, but it actually creates a network around the world where all these quantum still point clarifiers are. And I think this is an important point to mention because I think in future times we're going to go into this in a little bit more depth because behind there are a bunch of meditations that you need to go through there as well in order to be aligned, if you like, to be in that field. So an interesting one.
Yes.
Yes. So other than that, thank you very much, everybody. Erasmia, wonderful to have you here with us again, and everybody else. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your
Thank you.
comments. Thank you for being with us. And and just as wrap up time, Jola, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that. So just to say that tomorrow we send out our Elevated Planet newsletter, and on that will be the links to the edited version of this show today. And anybody who wants to join our distribution list, please, you can drop me an email at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life or send us a message through the elevatedplanet.life website, and that's elevatedplanet.life/contact, and it gets you to our free format contact page there. And you can send us whatever messages you like, any questions you might have, any thoughts you might have, or simply to join the distribution list. You'd be exceptionally welcome. So, what else, Jolie?
As always, please like, share, and subscribe. We could use the, bump in viewership, and we really appreciate you tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. 100% with you. Thank you very much. Yeah, and we do appreciate the likes. We do appreciate anything that helps to build our community because community is what it's all about. Heart-based unity, consciousness through community is enormously powerful. It gets us to our world of unspeakable beauty, and that's where we're heading. And if you want to be on that ride with us, please, please, please do join us. So, cool.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I think that's it for this week then, Jolie, correct?
That is it.
Wonderful.
Thank you again.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you in a week's time. And actually, next Thursday, Thursday evening UK time, that is 7 p.m., we're going to do another of those Pam Gregory inspired meditations to magnetize the new earth consciousness to us. So if you're up for that, in Australia, it's going to be another early start for you. But you'd all be welcome because it's a global outreach there. So we're feeding out
Yes.
into the quantum wave structure with some beautiful, beautiful energy. So
Yes, and that'll be 11 Pacific time in Los Angeles, which would be 2 p.m. Eastern time.
yeah, and we get together 10 minutes ahead of that. So we have a
Yes.
little bit of a chat in advance, and then at on the hour, then we start the meditation itself. So, and it's a 20-minute meditation, or 15 minutes is kind of the Pam's suggestion, and anything beyond that is up to you. So, anyway, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you soon.